Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching Sousou no Frieren, Season 1, Episode 3. Man, I just learned that Season 2 of this is actually coming out, like, next year. I think like, early winter next year. So, I didn't even know that was happening. So I guess I picked a pretty good time to start this, huh? So, I don't know. I don't know how long, I haven't, like, done the math to figure out how long it's going to take me to get through Season 1, but maybe if we're lucky it'll line up, and we'll start Season 2 pretty much right when it comes out. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Anyway, last episode, man, a lot of stuff happened. Hydra died. Frieren completed her training. We found the flowers. It was a really good last episode. So, man, if this episode continues to hold up to that standard and we keep going, that will be impressive. So I don't know. We're watching episode 3. You can line you and copy up with this if you want to, and we are starting in 3, 2, 1. It's a good opening. I know a lot of people hate USOB for some reason, but hmm. I'm just thinking about the title, you know? Beyond Journey's End. Because it seems like we're starting like a new journey, you know? With I don't know, we haven't met this red-haired guy yet, but it seems like he's gonna be joining the squad. So I don't know, it's interesting, right? It's interesting because Frieren, her life being so long and having so much opportunity, she has the ability to have multiple life-defining journeys like this. You know what I mean? Of course, she's resistant to the idea that her first journey was life-defining, but I think it's clear at this point that it was. Not the journey, but the connection she made during it, right? Of course. Hmm. I like that last shot. Frieren, like, appearing in between everyone else. I think it's interesting. 27 years after the death of Himmel the hero. Great city of Warm. Is it very warm? I hope so. Cute. Oh, this is a crazy city. What the heck? The elevation back there. Yeah, she's got to find some spell books. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh no. Oh god. For a long time, huh? I wonder what Frieren thinks about that. Okay. What are you gonna do with that? Where are you gonna use it? I mean, where are you gonna bring it? Like, how are you gonna carry it? Okay, what do you need that for? Okay, sure. That seems important. She's educating you. Okay. Her face. Ah, God, this looks like a crazy place. It's like such a cool city. Ooh, okay. Fern's graduated to being her mother now instead of the other way around. Hmm. I bet she's buying it for you. Probably. Yeah. She just doesn't know. Wants to buy something for you, I guess. Don't blow her cover. What are you doing? Okay, okay. Accessory obtained. Sure. It's a lot easier to carry, I imagine, than a giant skull. Yes, yes. Yeah, you gotta do your shopping. Ooh. No, she's not just going by herself, obviously. Come on. Come on, Fern. Oh god. This looks like a pub, a tavern. Okay. Right. I see you think? Oh god. I guess Frieren got the standard. She'll be fine. You, buddy. Okay. What was that laugh? Oh god. Uh-huh, uh-huh. You go ahead. Give me your best recommendation. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. They're just good buddies who give us directions, I guess. Nice. Okay. Never mind. What are you doing? Yeah, remember how you're supposed to meet up there? Uh-huh. How you haven't done anything but follow her all day? God, the sky looks so pretty. Yes. Let's go. Okay. Seems like she doesn't know how to handle this very well. Just says that and then leaves. Sure, sure. Oh, oh man. A wall back there. Hmm. Of course. That's actually so sweet. Hmm. Wonder if she ever did things like this for her old companions, you know? Burger pudding, huh? Ooh. Yeah, he knows you. Come on. But I guess it's only been like a week or whatever in her mind, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder then if she feels like she doesn't know enough, right? That's what she's trying to do with Fern too now. Oh, the sour grapes! Remember when Frieren had that was loading that spell for the sour grapes? Okay, that's crazy. So it really was like all of the spells were for her buddies. Oh, yes, you do. You do. You don't have to know everything about somebody. And honestly, like buying something for her that you think she would like. Oh, really? Okay, that makes sense. Buying something for her that you think she would like is like what makes it meaningful, right? If you just asked her, I it wouldn't mean as much, you know? I literally, for real. And she's still trying, right? Might have succeeded even, you could say. That's what matters, right? You buying that is what matters. She'll get there. She's getting there. She needs to understand her own feelings more first, I feel like, but I wonder where we're even heading to, you know? Are we just kind of wandering around? Just, oh, so fancy. I literally, thank you. Okay, sounds good. We don't really need an exact purpose, right? Well, kind of. I feel like the real purpose is for her, yeah, not just to do that, but to also, like the story's purpose is for her to form deeper connections with people and like find meaning in that, right? So that's kind of the purpose of the journey too, whether or not Frieren understands that, right? Hmm. Oh God. 16. Wow. Okay. Calm down, please. Killing magic. Right. Killing magic, obviously. Of course. I can't believe Fern's gonna die in this episode. That's that's gonna be rough when she dies to killing magic. Ooh, doing some training. I hope that's not the killing magic. Ooh, like a shield. I see, I see. Very fancy. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, oh God. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, yeah, sure, you just do that. Come on. Seems easy. Surely she can. I wonder if mages are like OP in this universe, you know? What's the hierarchy of the RPG classes? Hmm. Okay. Sure. Wow. Hmm. Sure, that seems like it would be very risky and very dangerous, though. Ooh. Don't fall. Oh, God. Okay. It seems like the most important thing to learn. Yeah, honestly. What's the point? I mean, especially if it's not going to be out killing people, you know? Hmm. The book on magical history, huh? I feel like that just kind of makes sense, though, right? Defensive magic becoming so powerful. Because people would just naturally be more interested in defending themselves from dying than killing other people, right? So it kind of makes sense that naturally over time, an incredibly powerful defensive magic would be like developed, right? I'm assuming there's like magical theory that exists, you know? Hmm. The shot of the gateway was interesting. Hmm. Makes it feel like this place has some significant meaning to her. But yeah, they know her. Hmm. What is our history here? Qual. Okay, sure. Go show us Qual. Oh, the Elder Sage of Corruption, of course. Oh, God. Ooh. Oh, okay. So, yeah, they dealt with him on their first journey. Okay. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Can you defeat him by yourself? Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah, well, he did die, unfortunately. Hmm. What would he have done if Frieren didn't show up in time? Oh god, don't say that, please. No. Sure. Okay. And it was true. I guess Frieren would probably know when the seal's gonna break better than anyone. I assume she's the one who casted it. Well, there he is. Just man. We can't like destroy this thing when he's sealed. Ooh, it's all like there's like holes in it. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. It's just gonna be that easy, I guess. I guess Frieren is Frieren, so maybe she'll be fine. Of course. Instead of instead of killing him? Or hmm. Ooh. Okay, wow. First piercing spell in history, huh? Zoltrak. Oh god, okay. I see. Great. That was a crazy animation there. So what? Okay. Jesus. Hmm. It was? Ooh, okay. That's why it backfired on him. Okay. I guess. I guess his I guess hmm. I mean what it sounds like his magical history must have been shaped a lot by Qual and this Zoltrak stuff, I suppose, you know? Why it backfired on him. Okay, let's go. Ooh, God, her eyes look so cool. God, he is huge. Oh, God. Okay, time to fight, I guess. Is he just gonna immediately start attacking us? God, he looks terrifying. His eyes. Hi, Qual. What's up? How's it going? Oof. 80 years. A mere 80 years, of course. Interesting how it's almost like we're comparing Frieren and him, you know, in that terms. Sure, go for it. Oh, okay, sure. So what is the idea here that defensive spells have developed a lot? And like, because she said it backfired on him, right? So, oh yeah, okay, sure, cool. That's actually really cool. God, his eye. You didn't read the book, Fern. Come on. That was ordinary offensive magic. Oh, okay. So not only okay. So like everybody learned Zoltrak, right? Is that just the spell that Fern has been using this whole time? And Frieren have been using this whole time? It's like it's just ordinary offensive magic now. It's just like the march of progress, you know? Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah. Man, and it's been 80 years. Yeah. I mean, people could have spent their whole life doing this, you know? That's crazy. Hmm. Interesting. It makes sense, right? It's really like an arms race in terms of offensive magic and defensive magic, right? And I assume kind of like the breaking point is like mana amount, right? I assume Zoltrak probably takes a lot more mana than old offensive magic. 80 years is a long time. I mean, the thing is, it would be 80 years would be a long time for anyone, right? Like, I just don't believe this, that for Frieren, it wouldn't be the same. But wow, he can just already do it? He's that good? I, yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay. Just making them perfectly at the exact spots where the magic is gonna hit. That is insane. How does she even do that? oh, oh God. It looks so cool. Man, he can just oh oh that's new too, flying. Zoltrak, of course. Ordinary offensive magic. Oh wow. Man, he well, she could defeat him now, huh? What a difference 80 years makes, isn't that crazy? How it's not just long for humans, it's long for you too. You couldn't defeat him 80 years ago, now you can. How different are you, huh? God, that was crazy. That was awesome. I imagine that would be kind of scary having Qual hanging out on the hill over there the whole time. Hmm. What about it? Well, it looks like a pretty normal straw hat. Oh, she remembers him. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can flip Hyder's skirt. It's okay. Still alive. What a reminder of Himmel, right? Hmm. I just can't even imagine it being alive that long, like Frieren. She still looked the same back then. Hmm. They didn't? Sure. And what? And you think you're just fulfilling what Himmel would have done? Absolutely. I wonder how much Frieren has trolled Fern about Himmel. God, she has to reach up so high now to pat her head. Oh, the hat. Oh man, that was such a good episode. They're so good. Man. Oh, sorry. Man, that was great. That was great. Oh, that almost looks like Qual, doesn't it? Hmm. Mhm. Oh, and that really looks like Qual. Yeah, I think I like the ending even more than the opening. It's really good. And for once, this anime is longer than like 12 episodes. Like, we're actually going to get another opening, another ending, I think. So, lucky us. Feels like recently no anime ever are longer than like 12, 13 episodes, you know? I think that's part of what made Frieren overwhelmingly popular, right? Just feels like a breath of fresh air in like modern anime, you know? Okay, we will talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Oops, I unfull screened it. So, we start off in the trade city of Warm, which is an interesting name, isn't it? Man, I don't know. I love the art in this whole show so much. Just like look at the backgrounds and like the environment is like so good everywhere. You know, like man, we got this cat, we got these seagulls. Look at like the this place looks crazy. Like look at the like elevation, you know? Like I don't even know how this works. How does this happen? I don't know, but it looks awesome, I guess. I feel like it'd be kind of scary to be if I'd be worried about like a landslide or something, you know, and my house goes tumbling down. I guess I don't know. Hope they got some magic for that, I guess. So it was Fern's birthday today, which is crazy. I guess she's 16 now. That's what she says at the end. So, God, something is in my throat. It's gonna drive me crazy. And Frieren, her face, wants to buy some stuff for Fern, which is nice. For one, I wonder how Fern even knows her birthday, which is kind of sad. But she is an orphan, and her parents died when she was very young. But I guess she was old enough to know her birthday. I guess like unclear how old she was exactly, right? If it's been 28 years since Himmel's death now, right? That's what it said. I mean, I guess she was like 7 or 8 when Frieren met her. So yeah, I mean, old enough. I guess it depends also how long she was with Heiter, of course. But who knows? Who knows? the the giant demon skull thing, of course. The potion that only dissolves clothing, and she looks so happy about it. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with that? What's the plan with that one? Like, and then the book on magical history. Yet again, this episode, just like the previous one, feels like it's kind of we got like two parts to it, you know, or like multiple parts to it, right? I like that. It's interesting. I imagine it's probably made up of like two manga chapters. Then probably. I mean, I don't know. Who knows, right? I don't know how long the manga chapters are, but certainly the first half of this episode and the second half are very different. I love Fern's face. Looks very nice, very cute. So it's interesting how Fern follows Frieren around with her buying this stuff. And I don't know, I can't decide. Like her attitude about it is interesting because she doesn't even think for a second that Frieren could be buying this stuff for her, right? Even though it's her birthday, and she knew it was her birthday. She says that at the end, right? So I don't know. It's interesting that she doesn't assume it doesn't even enter her mind that Frieren could be buying this stuff for her, right? Um, which I don't know, that's interesting, right? I guess you could say that that shows either one, like the way that Fern views Frieren, and that she just wouldn't expect her to do something like this, or just the way Fern views herself, right? Because I imagine Fern probably hasn't had many like happy big birthday celebrations, right? I mean, I guess we don't know. She's been with Frieren for like most of her life at this point, so who knows if they normally do anything for her birthday or not, you know? But I don't know. I think it's interesting because you could either because it would be kind of sad if she doesn't even think about Frieren buying the stuff for her because she just doesn't imagine that Frieren would ever do that, right? That's kind of sad if that's the case. Maybe that's true though, right? Because that is the issue that Frieren is like trying to address, right? Is her whole connection to other people and making like meaningful memories with others, that kind of thing, right? Well, I don't know about memories, but because the idea of meaningful memories is interesting because that's what she has with Himmel and everyone, but for her, that wasn't it's not that that wasn't enough, but it's just she still in the end felt like she failed Himmel by not having known him enough, right? Even though she does still have the memories of their journey, right? And that is meaningful to her. But besides the point, the other way around is you could just view it as Fern herself not thinking, how, I mean, I guess many ways you could view it, I guess. Just not thinking that Frieren would do this for her the other way around, right? that Fern doesn't deserve it or that she doesn't, something like that, right? Not that I've really gotten that vibe from Fern, but who knows, right? I mean, her being an orphan and her having kind of a rough life, sorry, forever, kind of makes sense why she wouldn't like view receiving birthday gifts and this thing as like a normal thing, right? So I can imagine it that way around. Very cute cat. Almost blows their cover, but we're good. And the way that Frieren struggled so much to know what to buy her is very cute, right? And she wants to look for good desserts, so we go down to this tavern in the basement, and there's these guys down here. But apparently they're actually very nice. So it's interesting how like this world has seemed so pleasant and nice this whole time until we met Qual, right? Even in this episode, it's like we go into this place that's kind of a rough looking bar, and we got all this going on, right? But then they actually are just very nice people who give her directions to a dessert place. Like what you think they're talking about is like not desserts, right? When they're saying like, oh, there's mountains of delicious desserts, right? Some sugar is, yeah, what gives us energy for adventure, blah, blah, blah. But then they actually are just nice guys who give her directions. So, and I guess that guy laughing ominously is just, that's just this thing. That's just what he does. Fern really slacked off on the shopping, unfortunately. Which I don't know, that alone is kind of interesting, right? How almost like Fern was the one neglecting their dynamic there for a moment because of like her doubts of what Frieren was doing. I guess this has probably changed Fern's outlook on Frieren as well, right? In this episode. Hmm. I mean, I guess it's funny how it's like Fern has become Frieren's mom. And like the other way around too. I don't know. Fern, I don't know. I guess they have a lot of things to teach each other, I suppose, right? Fern doesn't have the same emotional hangups that Frieren has, I guess, right? And she knows how to brush her hair. Hmm. It's very sweet that Frieren did this. I mean, it shows that I don't know. I mean, the fact that she fought to do this on her own shows how much of an effort she's making, right? That she's really trying to connect with Fern and really trying to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's hard to say because we don't have a full picture of like the way she acted exactly in her journey with Himmel and everyone. But I don't know. It's interesting, right? Because the journey with Himmel and Heiter and everyone had like a defined end point, which was, we're gonna go defeat the Demon King, then we're done, right? Her journey with Fern really doesn't. They're just wandering around having fun, right? Hanging out and exploring, right? So it makes me wonder if some point we could ever reach a point in their journey where there is like some kind of defined endpoint, and how Frieren's attitude about their relationship would change from that point, right? Because with Himmel and Hiker and everybody, it's like if their journey had gone on for 50 years, that's how long Frieren would have been with them, right? It was just because their journey was done and they parted their separate ways that everything ended up the way it did. With Fern, it's not like that. So I don't know, because it's almost like it's like easy mode for Frieren. You know what I mean? Because right now she's connected with Fern because they're like they're all the other person has essentially, right? Um, but eventually, if something comes up and they get separated for some reason, the same way Frieren separated herself from all of her buddies after their journey ended, I just wonder that would be the real test of Frieren and her whole maintaining her connections with other people thing, right? Hmm. And it's like, and God, and it's like she feels guilty. She really feels guilty that other people know her, right? That she feels like other people are making so much more of an effort to know her than that she is making an effort to know them, right? But Hemmel says something interesting, which is, yeah, I'll try harder to teach you about myself, right? Because I guess he's just kind of, he's not gonna put all of the the emphasis on her and say that she's the one doing anything wrong, right? Of course, she is the one who thinks that, but you know it's a two-way street, right? It's like you can't learn something about someone without them wanting to tell you about it, right? And of course Frieren herself has to make an effort, right, too. know anything about you. You think that's true that you don't know anything about her? Just what a crazy thing to say, right? When I like, come on, what do you mean you don't know anything about her? That's actually just crazy. That is an insane thing to say. And like, God, that's so sad that she feels the need to apologize preemptively before giving her this gift, you know? That's actually so sad. Like, come on. Don't do that. And of course Fern likes it, right? Like, hmm. I don't know why Frieren has like this predisposition to act like that, you know? Why she feels the need that she has to apologize before even giving it to someone, you know? Hmm. I mean, I guess partially it's probably like the almost the trauma she has after the whole Himmel situation, right? Her deciding that she failed and didn't know enough about him and abandoned him, right? That she I guess she's probably just, you know, doesn't want to feel like she's already doing that with Fern too, or feels like maybe she is because she doesn't know everything about her already, right? You seem to be hopelessly dense. And trying is what matters. Yes, you really don't understand people's feelings, do you? That's what matters, is you making the effort to, know her. And I think you do know her. I think you know her better than anyone on the entire planet. So, like, and it's like it's an interesting juxtaposition or an interesting contrast between what Fern said earlier in the episode, the whole thing about how she's known Frieren for a long time. She knows the face that she's making, all of that, right? And like, I'm sure Frieren has things like that about Fern too. I just literally don't believe her for a second when she says she doesn't know anything about Fern. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, but I guess she probably has a very high standard for what she would consider knowing someone, you know? Because, like, she personally has had such a long life and has had so much stuff about herself that it's going to take other people a very long time to know everything about her, if ever, because she's had such a long life compared to others, so it's always going to feel like an unfair trade to her, right? Because for her, letting other people know everything about herself is much more of an effort and much more of a big thing than other people becoming clear to her and her knowing everything about them, whatever that even means to know everything about someone, right? But I just think in her mind, that's probably how it feels, right? Very nice accessory. We're just going around to collect spells. That sounds good to me. We don't need a purpose. Retracing the adventure with Himmel, making new memories with Fern. And it's interesting because all those places that she's going to visit, right? Now she's not only going to have those memories with Himmel and everyone there, she's going to have these memories with Fern too. I don't know, so I'm trying to figure that out. I think it is. I think it is important to you. Yeah. Killing magic. Oh, it's been 27 years after the death of Himmel the Hero. My bad. So I guess Fern was 8 or 9 then when Frieren met her. So we're getting into this magic stuff, which is pretty cool. I like what we're doing here. Very interesting the way that we really are treating magic with like the scientific method, basically, or like we're treating it with like the normal march of progress of like technology, right? Um, oh God, that looks terrifying. But she's really teaching Fern defensive magic, which makes sense, right? I said this too, but it makes sense why people would want to learn defensive magic first, right? Because most people, you want to be able to defend yourself against bad people rather than be able to attack other people, right? That's kind of an important thing, right? Because, I mean, in most situations, if there's like a bad actor who wants to kill you, then they're going to strike you first as well, and you need to be able to defend yourself. Like you're not gonna, walk around holding a gun at eye level at all times to shoot anything that moves so that you can strike first, right? You're gonna like you're gonna want to be able to defend yourself, right? If in real life we had magical shields that we could put up to defend ourselves against bullets, we would everyone would want to learn that more than holding a gun at eye level at all times, right? So that kind of makes sense. Rapidly depletes your mana, which is interesting, right? I imagine mana capacity is probably like it's probably what makes like the ceiling of like the progress of magic, right? Like, they have obviously developed stronger and stronger spells over time, both offensive with the Zoltrak stuff and defensive magic, which is like a response to Zoltrak. But I imagine that mana for both of them probably costs a lot more. I imagine Zoltrak costs a lot more mana than whatever the offensive magic before it was, right? So there has to be like a ceiling, right? Because eventually, if the offensive magic is so powerful it takes all your mana instantly, I guess we can make defensive magic that's so powerful it takes all your mana instantly. And then that's just it. I don't know. That's you've done it. You've reached the cap of magic, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. It's cool. And yeah, you gotta cast it in a select location at the moment of impact, which, God, that sounds terrifying. I couldn't do that. That was horrifying. Hmm. Single defensive spell can defend against most offensive spells. Yeah. Although, like, I don't know why you would even learn offensive spells other than Zoltrak, right? Like, maybe. I just don't know. I don't know. Hmm. I haven't read the book on magical history. She was really slacking off. Sorry, my recording stopped for a second. We get a shot of this gate, and it's interesting. Because like we get this long, lingering shot of Fern standing on the precipice of it and like taking the step forward. It's to me, it's almost like it's like Frieren, like going back in time almost, and like feeling that responsibility again of like being on the journey with Himmel and everyone and being here to stop Qual and all of that. It really is, because like I'm sure this place must be very meaningful to her in that sense. It's a place she must have thought about quite a lot if she remembered to come back here for Qual when the seal is breaking. Hmm. The Elder Sage of Corruption, a demon who committed terrible atrocities in this region 80 years ago. Hmm. Oh God, and this is so sad. He called you heartless for not checking on him. Don't say that. Oh God. And yeah, she's not that heartless, right? I don't think she's heartless at all, but come on. And there he is. There he is. Wonder how the seal works exactly. But 80 years is a long time, not just for humans, but for people too. So yeah, he developed Zoltrak, which could pierce all defensive spells and magical resistance at the time. And I wonder if like this process, this whole offensive, defensive like arms race has happened. It must have happened a bunch of times throughout history, right? Like um suddenly just there's a large jump in progress. I mean, anytime there's a big jump in progress in offensive magic and it can pierce defensive spells, then that's just like broken, right? Then immediately it's like they have to get to work and start making better defensive spells. 40% of adventurers and 70% of mages were killed by Zoltrak. Just insane. Like, it did backfire on him. It sure did. And it's interesting. It's what's interesting about it too with Qual, especially because of the weird like parallels between him and Frieren that we get with the whole mere 80 years thing and them talking about their long lives, right? Is Frieren says it backfired on him. But it's interesting because in what way did it backfire on him, right? It resulted in the all of society, all mages and all of society, basically, their magical abilities and magical understanding becoming stronger, right? Like, basically, all of society was bettered in some sense by giant advances in magical technology, by Qual discovering Zoltrak and using it, right? Obviously, Qual was evil and he killed a bunch of people with it. But the reason I think it's interesting when comparing him to like Frieren and the parallels they make there is I guess it just shows how Qual had a long-lasting impact on the world at large, even though he just calls it a mere 80 years that it didn't matter. It's not like he formed any personal connection with anyone, I assume. He's evil, right? So it's interesting how it shows that, like, your actions and the impact you can have on everyone and everything, even on a huge scale, like all this Zoltrak stuff, it doesn't matter, like, what you yourself personally think about it, right? It kind of relates to like Frieren and her struggle with buying Frieren a present and all of that, right? Like just because Frieren herself, her emotions about all of it might be like kind of, mixed up and she doesn't really, she's unsure of herself, right? Even though she's making an effort, unlike Qual just being evil. It meant a lot more to Fern than it did to Frieren, right? Like, because Frieren's the one buying it for Fern, right? So Fern didn't see like all of that, Frieren's like emotional struggle about all of it didn't matter to Fern. If anything, it made it better for her, right? Like it made it more meaningful, The same way that like the impact that let's say Frieren herself as well, alongside Qual, had on like society at large, despite themselves, just thinking it was a mere 80 years that didn't matter or whatever, I don't know. It's interesting, I guess. It's different in this case because, of course, Frieren's actually trying to make an effort, right? Qual isn't, but. Hmm. And we release the seal. Oh, God. His voice sounds crazy. A mere 80 years. And man, Qual's picking it right back up to avenge the Demon King. But it's nothing but ordinary offensive magic. Which is crazy. But I guess that's how it works, right? If Zoltrak was studied so much, everyone's going to learn how to do Zoltrak, Kind of scary. But I guess I kind of assumed that Zoltrak, the main powerful thing about it was bypassing defensive magic, right? I assume offensive magic previous to Zoltrak could also kill people, just like Zoltrak can. It just was blocked by defensive magic of the time, right? Man, what an impact Qual had, huh? And like, yeah, 80 years, a long time. But he figures it out instantly. He casts it immediately. Man, a crazy scene, crazy battle, huh? And Fern got it down. She's a prodigy, huh? And Frieren can fly, which like we've seen that a few times, right? Like Fern can fly too. But apparently that's also something that has been developed in the past 80 years, which is kind of funny. And she hits him with his own spell. Down he goes. Hmm. The parallels between Qual and Frieren are very interesting. It's almost like you could say that he is like what Frieren could have been in some sense, right? Or maybe even the way that she could view herself in some ways. Hmm. Them both being mages, them both having long lives, them both Qual literally being very uncaring about other people, right? Frieren thinking that of herself, at least, right? Hmm. I guess he really got her. Man, she's reading the book, finally, thank God. People of this village believed in Himmel. And yeah, I think Himmel believed in her as well. I wonder what Frieren thinks about that, though. Does she feel like she betrayed Himmel and didn't live up to his expectations? Probably. Sadly. And that's the end of the episode. That is a good one. That was a good one. Man, if this anime continues at this quality forever, I don't even know. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy if it keeps going this good. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's it, though. So, subscribe, please, if you enjoy my videos. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Please, I always want to hear what people think. I want you to give me your media analysis takes. And I will see you in the next one.